and tidy edited down video, but I have ways for you to make it faster. You can click that little gear on the YouTube settings right there on the video and adjust the playback speed, make me sound like a chipmunk, and it'll go a lot faster. You can also look and see if there's timestamps for this project in the description, and if you're on a desktop you can hover over the time bar at the bottom of the screen and see if it's chunked up into chapters, and then that way you can go directly to the step you're looking for. And lastly, you can also tap on the screen on the right hand side of the video picture or on the left hand side to make the video jump ahead, forward or backward if you're on a mobile device. And you can adjust that amount in your settings so you can have complete control over how much it jumps. So if you are on a desktop, you can use the fast forward or the rewind, and that will make it go faster as well. You can also enable subtitles, and the little CC on the screen will enable closed captioning. That way, if I am a little bit harder to understand with that double playback speed, the subtitles might help you out. All right, well, I know that it's not a nice little edited video, but if you sew with me, we'll get there together and it'll be lots of fun. And now for the live stream. Happy sewing! Hello. Hello. Hello, Nancy. I was just thinking about you yesterday. Nice to see you here. Hi, Aisha. Hi, Rachel. Hi, Emily. Oh, look at that. Nancy and Emily. I haven't seen you guys in a bit. Nice to see you. Hi, Rosalie. Welcome. Thanks for chatting, too. Everyone's super awesome here. They can be really chatty too, so don't feel like you're on the outside. Just jump in. Yeah, see? They're welcoming you. I'm glad you like the videos. I wish I could make more and more and more and more. I was just thinking today that I really love doing the how-tos and I don't devote enough time to those. That camp shirt collar video has done super well. I'm really surprised because you never know what to title something so that it's easily found, right? Because the perfect video for you could be out there in the world, but you don't know what they used for words to describe it, right? Maybe they used an incorrect term. Maybe you're using an incorrect term, right? Because you just never know. So I was just like, I just call it what it is. Oh, nice. I'm so glad, Rosalie. Hi, Blair. Welcome. Happy Saturday, as Ray would say. We are making one of my patterns. I rarely do that. Hi, Lindsay. Good morning. It's 5:30. That doesn't seem, there's no way. It's only 5:30. I would think it'd be earlier. What? Hi, Julie. Hi, Shem. Are you sure? Is it because of the time change? Like you don't change yet and we did, and so we're like 2 hours closer together? The math thing. Anyway, I probably could promote my own patterns more, but I don't know. Whatever. I know you guys got lots of patterns to buy. What am I wearing? Oh, I am wearing, oh, it's 8 p.m. there, Rosalie. That's awesome. Yeah, there's a few people from the Netherlands, Switzerland, the UK that come, so, ooh, it was cold out there. Okay, my sweater, yeah, I did not make this sweater. This is one of my like older favorite ones. It's by a company that isn't isn't around anymore. It might even be from the Netherlands. It's called Oil Lily. I'll show you it. I don't know. I know my office is freezing, so I could wear it. So it's a screen printed sweater. It's got this little ruffle. Yeah, it's really cool. I love the colors of this. This is definitely my colors. Delwyn! Nice to see you. Yeah, they make the best things, right? Yeah, so I have the funny thing about Oil Lily is that I used to one part of my job at one place I worked in the garment industry at a children's wear company was to shop Oil Lily. and my boss would drop me off at the Oil Lily on Rodeo Drive in Beverly Hills. Talk about intimidating. And I would go and shop for inspiration and stuff like that. It was one of my favorite brands. It was a little over the top. And they, people wanted to, adult women wanted to wear the children's clothes, so they started making it in adult sizes. And as bonuses, my boss would buy Oil Lily for me. Because like this sweater here, this is like a $350 sweater. So I would normally buy that. I've had it for a long time. Very well made stuff. There's a few you probably see me wear because I wear them more often. They're a little more wearable, you know, because they're a little eclectic. So they mix prints. They do lots of plaids and florals and mix bright colors together, which is definitely my love language when it comes to color. I love all the colors. So yeah. Hello, Elena. Welcome. So yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly, Blair. Well, in Germany, children aren't referred to as a gender until they're, I think, 11 years old. Yeah, 80s. I was kind of surprised Oil Lily eventually kind of fizzled out because, but I think it was just, yeah, really expensive. And, you know. So yeah, anyway, I don't wear these sweaters very often. This is, I think I told you the story that I was setting up at a show once. I feel like it was Interweave Knits. Interweave Knits used to have this really sweet show in like near Santa Clara, really close to Santa Clara. And where was that? I was in a hotel. And it was small, but it was just such a lovely little show, and I always did pretty good, and it was very easy for me to get there, and I really like the small shows. And I was wearing one of these sweaters for setup. I know, crazy, right? But I wore these sweaters whenever I could because I wouldn't wear them in my booth because people, I felt like it was better if I wore something I actually knit because I got accused of being there as a sewer a lot. And so people would think that I wasn't qualified to make bags for people who knit if I didn't knit myself. And so I would always wear my own things that I would make, whatever shawls and sweaters and stuff, right? But on setup, I was wearing one of my favorite, I think it was my other one, that's more of like a little A-line that you've seen me wear a few times. And this woman, I was eating in the restaurant in the hotel after setting up for the day. Like at the end of the day, I was just sitting there by myself eating. And this woman came up and she was like, oh, I can't remember if she asked me if I was setting up for the show or if I had made my sweater or how she started the conversation. But we talked for a bit and I was like, well, I'm a vendor here, you know. I said, but no, I did not make the sweater. I do knit, but I didn't make the sweater. And she was like, well, you really should be wearing things you've made. I'm like, lady, I am eating dinner after setting up for driving here at 5 in the morning, setting up my booth all by myself, hoiking all my junk up to the like 3rd or 4th floor through the loading dock, which was the craziest elevator. So people are weird. Just don't comment. So anyway, oh man. Yeah, exactly, Blair, exactly. Hello, Deb, welcome, welcome. Okay, so yeah, this is my pattern today. I don't usually promote my patterns. I need to make this for my daughter's birthday. She requested one. She has 3 and she wants another one. She loves this thing. So I created a basket for laundry. I always create things that I need. So I have a 2-story home and my laundry is unfortunately on the bottom floor where all my clothes are on the top floor and our bedding, right? I'm not shim and have a laundry in my bedroom, which I plan to have someday if I can. So carrying up the laundry basket with 2 hands was kind of problematic for my hallway because I have all this handmade stuff on the hallway. And sometimes I want to carry a glass of water. I mean, you know, crazy. Or a bowl of ice cream, right? So I decided that I wanted a laundry basket that I could hold with one hand with handles and wasn't so pokey outy, you know, like a big old basket bumping into the walls. I also am always walking around with my familiar, which is my pug, who is like a little dust cloud around me. He's always near my feet, so he doesn't really respect the fact that I don't want to fall and break my neck, you know. So I created this basket, and the key is that it also will hang from a dryer if you have a stacking set like this. It also has a zip closure, so you can close it if you go to a laundromat, or maybe you're bringing a bunch of bedding on a trip. You can just throw it in there and throw it in the back of your car, right? So I made my laundry basket, and I actually love it. I have 3 myself, and it's just been great. It holds a whole load. So my daughter wants one. So if you've never bought one of my patterns, this one's only $6, and I put a code for you guys. I figure, like, if I'm sewing it, I should probably give you guys a discount code. I think someone bought it recently, or a couple people, so I'll give you guys the code after the stream if you see this. So anyway, I just made this in my own little like program, so you can get a glimpse of what my patterns look like. There's really nice big fonts, supplies, materials, cutting, seam allowance clearly illustrated. There's a cutting layout, and this particular pattern doesn't have pattern pieces because they're all rectangles and squares. If you get anything else from me, it comes with pattern pieces. I'm pretty sure all my others do. So, and then here the markings, and I just want to point out that the markings you have to put on are all in the center of the piece. All you have to do is fold it and notch it. There's nothing crazy like 4 inches down this side and 2 inches down this side. My photo, I have steps, and there's all numbered, so this is like labeled the way I would want instructions, where it's like, okay, this is the name, this is what we're going to do, and then here's the step to do it. So you could just read that and go, okay, I know what to do. There's photos, there's a video with timestamps and all that, and then these are all just the steps for the laundry basket. So this pattern in particular is just this PDF. This is all you have to download, and you don't have to print it out if you don't want to, right? So anyway, let's get sewing. I already made my list. See, I even made one for me, even though this is my pattern, because I don't know what happened with my teddy top, but I did not do some of the things I said I was doing in that. So I'm a little out of practice with the streaming. I have some really cute fabric today. She picked out this moon rabbit print, and I made the diaper bag by Swoon Patterns. The Belle, what was that called? The Belle baby bag? Was that what it was called? Turned out really cute. And she picked out the same fabric. It comes in this canvas too. It comes in quilting cotton canvas. So our first step is to fold these. Yeah, this is that Belle baby bag. And isn't that funny? I just said, hey, what canvas would you like? And I sent her screenshots of all the canvases, because that's how you have to do it with a kiddo, right? You can't just send them a link. And then she was like, I like that one. And then she picked, strangely, she picked this pink to go with it as the lining. And this canvas is much stouter than this, which is great because this canvas is a little bit lighter. And I think you'll be happier the stiffer you make your laundry basket. So anyway, there's no binding in this pattern, as I know I'm famous or infamous for adding binding. So, hey, Jackie. All right, so let's, oh, by the way, happy Veterans Day. Thanks to all those veterans for your service. In the United States, it's Veterans Day. We honor our veterans here. And I know there are several of you in the guild, so thanks for your service. I really appreciate having you guys here. So, unless you're at a parade or at a diner getting your 10% off. That's not very high on the chart of useful things, right? Go to a diner and spend money for a discount. Okay, can I turn this a little bit? I gotta get this bar off of my camera that I added. All right, so the first step is the handles and the hook tether. So I kept getting these pattern pieces confused with my zip face. I'm doing the zipper version. The zip facing and the zip extension and the facing. So these are the shorter ones. And the other ones are a little longer, just so if you're trying to keep track of your pattern pieces. The other thing I know is that the direction I cut these, the rabbits are going this way. So yeah, they'll be upside down on one half of the handle, but the other pattern pieces are cut with the print going this direction. So that's another indication if you're trying to keep track of your pieces. So we're gonna do some ironing first. We're gonna make our own. You could use webbing too. You don't have to use fabric, but I sure have fallen in love with doing fabric handles and stuff. We could never do that at Chicken Boots. It would be too expensive. Too much fabric, too much time. So we always did webbing. Yeah, the bag is already cut out. And I even overlocked a couple of things first because I want to sew the whole thing today, you know. And I got here early. I had kind of a bad dream this morning, and so I woke up a little early. I think it was a weird. And my dog Molly is not doing really good, so she got up a couple times. I was kind of like, why are you up? You know, what's going on? So we're kind of hyper aware of whatever she's doing these days. Terry is a veteran. Thank you for your service, Terry. So is Christina Pecos. Who else? Blair, are you a veteran? Wait, who else is? Give it up for the female veterans. Yeah. You've done it all. All right, this is the little hook strap. Not a fan of ironing these little tiny narrow things with this hotter than heck iron. So you could sew this like right sides together and turn it if you want. That works. Anytime you need a strap, say you don't have webbing, this is my favorite way to do it. So make your piece of fabric 4 times the width of your finished webbing that you need. So if you need a 1-inch wide webbing strap, you don't have webbing, you need your piece of fabric needs to be 4 inches, and then the length of the webbing that you need, right? And then you fold it in half, and then fold each of those halves towards the original fold. Like this, see? So you have this 4 thing, and then now all you gotta do is edge stitch it. There's no turning or anything like that. Oh, Diane's daughter is too? All right, your husband and daughter. Oh, that's right, okay. Daughter's a combat veteran, wow. Thank her for her service for us. Okay, so we're just gonna edge stitch the hook. I love how I'm teaching you guys to make this. You're like, I'm not making this, Saremy. You wanted to do this today. Thanks for letting me do this. Oi, 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 oi. I have a bobbin in there, right? What was that? I literally double checked that I had a bobbin in there, but it is sewing like I don't have a, yeah, I have a bobbin in there. What are you playing at? Oh, crikey. Oh, there's a marker down here. What the heck? I can't grab it. I can't grab it. It was like caught on my, oh my goodness. You're making one, Blair? Nice. Oh, shoot, Deb. Aw, I'm sorry. Yeah, Molly is not eating. And we found she has a mass in her stomach. So now it's at the point where we pretty much have to take her to a different vet. Like our vet's like, you know, I really think you should go to these people. Because we can do like some endoscopy instead. Endoscopy. Bag making shim. I like bag making. I'm telling you, I would check out, well, I've always wanted to do a Sally Tomato pattern. I really think like, I would really like to do one of her patterns in fabric that's not quilted. You know what, my needle might be not perfectly straight. That might be what it is. Oops, I thought I just threaded up. It's scary. Yeah, she hasn't right now eaten since Monday. She's lost probably 25% of her weight right now. Yeah, 25%, you guys. She is basically 1.5 Lokis, or my pug. And we're calling him you know what a plecostomus is? You know, the bottom feeder in the fish tank? I'm calling him the pugcostomus because, I'm just being careful here. Because literally, when we were trying to encourage her to eat something and we'd give her a treat, she would just not eat it and he would come and snarf it up. So he's like gained a pound, which is a lot for a pug, you know, and then she's losing all this weight. So anyway, we won't dwell on this. So Rachel got you hooked on the proper fit. Oh, what? Wait, I've heard of that. Is that a pattern company? I don't know what that is. Sorry. I know what it is, but I don't know what it is. Oh, there you go. Oh, the town bag. Yeah. It's always the last step, right, Elena? You're like, I'm almost done. Rachel was the impetus for the Sandhill Sling Sew-Along last year. Oh, really, Nancy? Oh, see, I would like to make one of her bags in like a non-quilted. I'd like to see what they look like, you know? That looks nice. Everything's fine and dandy. It's winding a bobbin, so it does sound a little jangly right now. Yeah, I heard you, or saw you guys talking about something called dad cap. What is dad cap? Oh, that's amazing. Well, it's not like we can't do that. We have UC Davis, you know, but we are basically, I think, $2,000 in, and she is nowhere near being fixed right now. So that's my worry, because I just like, okay, we will pay the money, but can we please make progress on this poor dog? I'm going to stitch both sides. I like the way that looks, and I'm going to start from the same end. Boom. See, look at that. Look at that little bunny. Oh, okay, got it. The private bag pin. Oh, okay, cool. Okay. A clutch and a wax canvas. I like the little react button, but it covers part of your guys' chat. The big old red heart for me. This is just like so, this feels so good. I love the fabric. Tiffany slipped in a little bit ago. Don't you just love sewing like that? Molly came to us when they estimated between 5 and 7. So she could be anywhere from 10 to 14 years old, basically. So, yeah. All right, we're setting those aside, right? Yep, we're going to sew the pocket. Oh, that's good. So satisfying. You've had your hands full, but I've had to stretch my here since the beginning. All right, this is a 1.5 inch pocket turn down, and I probably did that so you can just turn under this edge. I think that would look better than turning down this huge amount. I overlocked it thinking, I'm gonna be clever and overlock this. I didn't need to. So we'll just, we'll turn it under. Hem it. The pocket is optional, but I pretty much put it on here so that you could slip the hook in there when you're not using it. Or say you are going to do laundry at the laundromat, you could put, like, some people use those pods and things, right? So, yeah, it's always in the way of things. I agree. I can disable it, Elena. You know, wait, maybe I'll disable it for future streams because, you know, it's us. Basic baseball cap, not like a trucker shape. Oh. I love that you guys are using the button now. You're so funny. All right, we got the pocket, and we're going to put it on the lining piece. Prepare your eyeballs for this pink. All right, so this goes 4.5 inches down. So let's, I have this little piece of paper that just allows me to make that mark, you know, but I can't find it. I almost had to print this out. I was like, where is this thing? So we're just gonna, I'm using this little hair marker. It doesn't really mark the fabric, it dents the fabric, and I love it. Love it. All right, we're gonna put a crease down the center. One thing I love about drafting is how you can figure out like right angles and centers and positioning without even ever doing a whole lot like of measuring and agonizing over it. And like, you know, it's like, there's my center line, here's my top, 4.5 inches down. If I put my pocket on the fold like this, right, line it up on that crease line right here, and here is that dent I made. And there you go. You have a pocket that's parallel to the edge and centered. And where's my rest of my, make sure it doesn't go like this, you know. There we go. I love that. Yeah, exactly, Barbara. I know. I know, like right now it's always covering usually the like pivotal word to understand your guys' sentence. The last word in the first row, you know? Okay. Let's just trim some of this. And I'm just gonna roll this up, this. Turn it on. This has 1/2 inch seam allowances. Kind of strange for me because I had a few people be like, Saremy, stop with the 1/4 inch seam allowances. When you do a lot of bag making, trust me when I say you are eventually going to be in the 1/4 inch seam allowance gang. It's just so much easier to maneuver things and sew the tricky bits, less trimming, you know. That's awesome, Shim. Are you using voice to chat? When you guys do voice to chat, is there like, how do you do that? I know Nancy does it a lot because it's been really entertaining over the years to see her comments. I'm like, what does that really mean? Get in there. Give me my right angle back. Don't take my right angle from me. Give it back. All down, all down. All right. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Boink. So my daughter is kind of germaphobe-ish, you know? So it kind of surprises me that she still uses a body pillow I got for her. No, the body pillow I used when I was pregnant. I was like, honey, I've made her new covers for it, but I was like, you know what? I'm getting her a new one. So I went to a, wait, facings together. This one is the facing. All right, this little step is a little fiddly. I'm gonna put stiffener in my facing to kind of help keep the bag open. That's what I do, okay. So she, so I wanted to get her a new body pillow and maybe make a couple of covers, you know, for it. And so I was like, you know what, we got a brand new Ross. Like, that's the one thing about being in a town that burned down. You're getting like new things and they're nice, you know. Like if I went to the Ross in Chico, it's definitely not my favorite thing to do. Like I'm just like, right. But ours is brand new. It's really nice. So I was like, maybe they have something like that so I don't have to order something. And they didn't really. But what I did was decide to get 2 king-sized pillows and sew them together. And then make her a body pillow because things are so affordable there. And it's just a, you know, it's a body pillow. So I'm just flattening out these seams. So what I did was I sewed the ends of the facing here. And then I sewed the ends of my stiffener. And we leave it not in a circle right now. Hey, Donna, how's it going? Hi, Diane, how's it going? iPhone has the option. Oh, for the voice to text. That's how it is. Oh, okay, okay. Yeah. Oh, wait, I think can you stop it, YouTube? Just stop it. Hi, Louise. Nice to see you. 19 more than a 1/4 inch. I've seen a million. Oh, okay, okay. Yeah. You're not late, Diane. You're here at the perfect time. Same with you, Donna. You're visiting in-laws. You want to be home sewing. You need a t-shirt that says, or a bumper sticker that says, I'd rather be home sewing. That's what you needed to, you need a t-shirt to wear to your in-laws that says, I'd rather be home sewing. Imagine. I would pay you to wear that. Amy, that's so productive. My goodness. Now I feel behind. Thanks, Amy. Your friends watching college football wish I was sewing too. Yeah. Okay. You know what? We really just need to make this t-shirt. We don't do the merch on our YouTube channel, but maybe that's what we need. Okay, so I wanted this to be easy to sew, like putting the stiffener in the facing edge, and that's why I did it this way. So I am gonna now just stitch it down along both long sides. This makes it less fussy. And the fact that it's not going up to the edges makes it easier to sew if you don't have an industrial, right? Yeah, a bumper sticker. Or like a license plate frame, but you need one on a t-shirt. So when you're sitting there at the college football game, whatever, or football, I don't know football, I'm sorry. You know, in somebody's living room. Oh, neat, Diane. That's awesome. I'm just going to go down because I'm here already. We're just stitching it all down. We need this shirt. Let's put pedal to the metal. Let's see what she can do. Don't flop in my way, though, please. Let's get rid of this pin. Let's go. It's almost too fast. We never do that, do we? All right, so there we go. We have our stiffener on the facing. So now it just feels nice and sturdy. We're gonna do this right sides together down here. And sew this end. I can make you want an industrial machine if you want. Oh, it's going to cut that, but whatever. Let's see. Let's open the seam allowance. I really like doing this because it makes the seams just nice and flat. You don't have to, you know, it just looks nice. It looks really nice, you know? Oh, right, Christmas tree time. Dang it. All right, zip extension. Oh, yeah, I've made those. I have that book. It's good. That is a really fun project, honestly. They're like little Christmas like ornament balls, and you knit them, and you can actually like put motifs on them and stuff. That's a good little book to have. I wonder if there's any used versions of that book in thrift books. That's where I would go if you guys are interested, or a digital version or something, you know. But then you're buying it brand new. So yeah, that's a good one. And you get like charts so you can make your own little motifs too. Anywhere but here. Yeah, exactly. All right, so this is the zip extension. So this is if you want to zip your bag closed. Oh yeah, please do, Amy. I want to see those. It's a lot of work. Yeah, but so nice. That's a gift to your future self, Monica. So I finished the short ends and the bottom end. If your fabric's kind of thready, I recommend doing this because this is one thing where you're going to see the back side of this, and this edge gets sewn. This edge gets sewn to the zipper. This one gets into the top edge. So if you have a preference for how your print looks on the bag, I don't really care. So my zipper is going to be along this because, you know, it's basically you're going to sew the zipper like this, you know, right sides together. And that little edge it's not that it's exposed, but it kind of is. So if you have little threads coming off of it, you might not like that, you know. So anyway, we're going to sew the finished edge to the zipper. And I just cut my zipper willy-nilly. So let me just mark 27 inches so I maintain the length correctly because zipper is squirrely. 27 inches, right? Now I'm scared. Okay, I'm gonna cut it 28 and I'll cut an inch off over here. I'm like, it is 27, right? What a weird number. What a weird number. Oh, they sell the patterns on their website? Oh. Zipper. 26-inch opening. But this is 27, pretty sure, right? I know it's my pattern. Oh, that's smart, Amy. That's so smart. Yeah, see, look. It's a 27-inch zipper. We're going to keep myself honest here. I find zipper to be a little squirrely because this fabric is kind of movable. It seems really firm, but it's not, right? All right. We're just going to put it right sides together. We'll backstitch. It's kind of smart that they're just making the pattern. I'm holding the whole thing because no shifting will be tolerated in the making of this zipper right here. So I'm holding it pretty firm. I use Zipper by the Yard. I love Zipper by the Yard. Wait, what did Shem say? She wants her own bin. You want a binding wall like me? Thank you everyone who has already answered my question in the guild about the guild. We are coming up on finishing our second year, and we are almost at 1,000 members. Like we're like I don't know, it's like 38 away. We're really close. I am loving all your comments. I decided I'm not going to reply to each one because I feel like people will read the reply and then want to craft their response based on how I reply to you. I love all your replies. I love that there's a lot of new folks replying and people I don't see participate much. I thank you for taking that time. That really means a lot. And I definitely want to reply to some of you because of some of the things you've said. Oh, thanks, Terry. Oh, yeah, and you know what? I was going to put a link to the laundry basket in chat real quick. I got to go to my own website. Can I just shop it? Yeah, sewing patterns. Here we go. Oh, yeah, this is way faster. Here it is. Copy. Here you go. It's 20% off through the end of November. It's 20% off. So it's a $4 pattern. All right, so now I'm just going to top stitch on either side. My bunnies are all standing on the zipper. One cool thing about Zipper by the Yard is how it looks really cool when before you've used it once, like it's all closed. I love that. It's been 2 years, I know, isn't that crazy? All right, so see now this edge, because it's finished, it won't unravel. I have one at home that unravels. That's why I'm doing that. So, all right, zip extension, body and lining side. Okay, oh, we're gonna sew this together. So when you're sewing things like zipper on any kind of bag, especially if it goes through the end, and you have to fold it. So I have to fold this in half like this, right? Don't start at the zipper end because it's physically impossible to get your zipper to fold in half when you have this solid ridge of coil in the way. So it's gonna have to cant to one side or another, you know, like kind of, so like when it folds, right? It's gonna go like this, right? It has to do that. I actually had a customer be like, can't believe you can't match it. It looks so sloppily sewn there. And I was like, well, let me explain to you why I can't. It's actually physically impossible. I can't fold along coil, you know. So I could if there was no coil there. I totally agree with them for that reason. I mean, this time I got really close and then I mucked up my machine. I was like, maybe I can do it this time. No. Woo! I am having all kinds of fun machine stuff today. Like I said, don't fold it along the thing. I was like, I'm going to try it. I know better. There we go. We're just going to pull it all out. We're going to change our needle too. We're not messing around. Normally it's no problem at all to sew that, like none at all. But yeah. I was just trying to see, okay, we'll try and put it on the end there. Oh, okay, good. I was making sure my bobbin wound. Let's get rid of this needle. Just because your needle doesn't break, if you have something like that happen, please change it. Don't try and sew with it. Because I guarantee if you feel it, look at that. Can you see that? Do you see the tip is bent? Wait. I'm trying to get the side view. Didn't break, but it's bent. And the thing is, if you sew with a bent needle, okay, let's say you don't care about your own eyeballs. You know, who cares about those things, right? But if you don't care about your own safety, what'll happen is your needle, when it's bent a tiny bit, it will hit things underneath, and that'll knock the timing off in your machine. And the timing is everything on your machine. It's what makes your machine work. And if you get into heavy duty making of any kind, jeans, bags, things like that, you really need to change your needle a lot. I'm using a size 16. I was folding it and I was trying to prove that you can't sew on the zipper folded in half, and you can't. And I shouldn't have done that. You gotta let the coil go from one side to the other, like kind of bend over to the side. You have too many of those things like that, you should call a mechanic and let them make sure everything is okay, because if you get things, besides getting things bent out of whack underneath there, you can get barbs in the like metal and stuff, and those little barbs, like especially like your throat plate, I could talk a lot about this because we did so much heavy duty sewing, and I have the one thing I collect is throat plates that I've gone through. This little guy right here, I have a whole bag of them. And that hole that my needle goes through, when the needle hits it, like if I were to sew and then the needle, you know, can't penetrate right there, it'll get pushed a little off center and it'll touch that needle, the throat plate hole. The throat plate's not made in like, you know, like it's made in steel, but it's soft enough that the needle will nick it. And then what happens is if the nick is sharp, and your thread, every time your needle goes down and sews, like say you did change your needle and everything's fine, the timing is fine, but you keep breaking your thread, it could be because it's getting caught on the hole of the throat plate, and that little sharp barb is cutting your thread. That's happened to me many times. So I used to just buy 3 throat plates at a time. So, yeah. Let's see how we're gonna hand sew a little bit first. I always do when I do something kind of funky. Flinching a little bit. There we go, we're fine. Stitches look fine. Oh, love this machine. All right, so then now, I always take my thumb and really push on it to pull it through. I got that right on top. Not bad. Let's do the side. I proved myself right. I don't need to do things like that though. It's dumb. So right here, I'll just go up to the coil. Since I've got it folded so perfectly, that's fine. You don't have to go through it if you don't want. Let's get rid of all that. And then I'm really firm about pushing it to the right side like that. Here we go. Okay, so now we have our zipper opening all ready to go on. We have our facing. I think we're to now making the body. So let's get the body out here. Looking at my cheat sheet. So we have the lining and we have the outer. I've already put the pocket on one of the linings. Let's make sure we don't sew any bunnies upside down. Put this right sides together, and we're just going to sew the side seams. And then once you sew the side seams, you don't need to finish these edges because it's going to be in the lining, right? I like to press the seam allowance to one side and stitch it down. Anytime I'm doing something like a bag lining, I will push the seam allowances to one side and top stitch it down. I'll show you why. A lot of bag patterns don't clean finish the inside so that the lining sits against the bag outer. They make it so and the lining kind of poofs out into the middle of the bag, right? And so you're always trying to push it against the sides. So if you don't top stitch your lining seam down, and then the outer is over here, they're pushing up against each other, and so then it's, you know, this is sticking out too against the side, you know? Like, it's nicer if you flatten this out so that your lining and your outer can be flush against one another. Especially if you're doing one of those pattern companies that doesn't clean finish the bag in a way that lets the lining sit flush and out of the way, right? Which is my preference because I like being able to see things in there. It also means a little more finishing though, like binding. All right, so I'm just pushing my seam allowance. Both these seams. You can open it too if you want, but I'll do the outer kind of the opposite way. All right, so here's my outer bunnies. Same thing, 1/2 inch seams. It just told me to show my support for So Live. Sure. Yeah, right, Barbara? Yeah, just mash it down. A lot of mashing in bag making. A lot of upper body strength. All right, so if I push them the same way, they'll be opposite to one another when they're sewn to each other like this, see? So I press these to my right, and if I do the same on the outer, they'll be the opposite to one another. Hi, Sure Bear. How's it going? That's a large purse. A whole load of laundry. All right, we'll do this one. Hopefully I did this. I don't usually do this where I go from bottom to bottom. Hopefully they line up to one another this way. They would if I had started from the top on both. All right. Okay, now we're gonna assemble the bottom. This will, I think now then we've touched all of our pattern pieces. So I just use a Pellon 70. Is that what it is? Pellon 70. I don't use Pellon 70. I use something I bought a long time ago, but it's the kind of akin to that. Let me get rid of this wrinkle. Otherwise it'll be there forever because it's on the bottom. See if we can get rid of it. It's on the outside on the bottom, so no one will see it, but you know, we'll try. You've never done that, right? It's not that crucial. Even if they're stacked on top of one another, pushed the same way, it's still better than not top stitching them down at all. All right, so we're just gonna lay all these 3 wrong sides together with the stiffener inside. And I'm gonna stitch all the way around. Usually what I do is I just do the corners. But this is, I want to be a good example. When you're doing like all these layers, sometimes things get a little shifty. So let's just make it a lot easier for ourselves. The next step we do is probably the trickiest. So we want to set ourselves up. Putting the facing, the handles, the zip extension all on the bag. I've made that so that it's really easy to do. We're not worried about that. We're not worried about anything. All right. So now we have our bag here, bag bottom, and we're gonna do the lining first, right? Body line, prep bottom. Oh wow, we're way down here already. Okay, stay stitch outer. Oh yeah, we're gonna stay stitch the bottom edge of the lining and the outer. Something I always forget to do. So here's my pocket. This is the bottom of the pocket. So we're gonna stay stitch down here. Hey Heidi, welcome. You're not the only first timer commenting. Thanks for commenting, I really love that. I like it when the new folks feel emboldened to chat. So I'm just doing this just inside the seam line, and we're just stay stitching all the way around. I'm sewing really fast today. I hope that's okay with you guys. Do you want me to slow down? Just let me know. I'm not like in a speed race. I'm into what I'm doing. And because I already refreshed myself, it's like, oh, I know what to do, so it's a little faster. All right, so this is the bottom of the outer. It's the same thing. Stay stitch. I was about to say, I think we're about to run out of bobbin thread. Ding, ding, ding. Hey, Justine. Yeah, because we have to attach it to that bottom, Louise, and sometimes because the bottom has the stiffener and the lining to it, it will, it's so fixed that the outer and the lining are a little bit more flexible, and they will be hard to ease in. So yeah. And I typically don't when I'm sewing this, and I always regret it. Okay, I really wish I had my sample. I usually have like a little chunk of fabric here to sew on, but I don't today. I'm a little nervous today. Okay, here we go. Get rid of this where my bobbin ran out. Winded? Okay. How's it going, Justine? Nice to see you. Yeah, no worries, Louise. You know what? I might iron these folds out too. See this fold? Let's go iron that out. Oh, nice, Justine. Cool. Those are cute. They're gonna look great on you. Now I can't see the crease. Maybe it's on the other piece. Because it's a bag, you know, it's never really going to get ironed, so I just want to get rid of some of these folds that, you know, I don't want to immortalize them. So we'll just do our best to prevent that. Here's another one right here. What's up with this wiggly top stitch? Oh, I was just stay stitching the bottom edge of the outer and the lining because we're about to sew it to the bottom, and the bottom is so like rigid. There's really no way to ease the bottom into the top. So making the top as rigid as possible to match it. And you have to be pretty precise when you're sewing bags. Anytime you're making bags, you need to be precise cutting it out. I don't know if I said that all right. Cut out your bags precisely. And if you're using different kinds of fabrics with one another, like one that's a little like looser and one that's a little more tightly woven, make sure that you stabilize seams and things, because when you're making something like a three-dimensional object, you can really get yourself into a pickle, you know, when things don't line up. Fine, we'll iron the lining folds too, because they're worse. They are worse. See this big one right here? And no, I did not pre-wash this. I should have, but it's a laundry basket. You know? I wouldn't put it past my kid to wash this thing every week, though, knowing her. Let's get this last fold. It's kind of a doozy. It's one of those things where you're like, it's fine. And then you're like, you know what? It's really my only chance to do this. It'll take me a minute. Why don't I just do it? It'll look nicer. Thing is, like, if I didn't, I would notice those folds afterward. If I do, I won't notice that I ironed them, but it'll help. Okay, let's see if we can coax some water out of my poor melted water bottle here, because I want more. I just really can't. I want a little more water right here. Let's get that off the seam. Oh well. Boop. Hello, Suzanne. Better late than never. Oh, cool, Shem. I want to make a bag to take to my music camp. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes, it's great for towels. You know what's really funny is that anytime I bring up like a couple of bags of laundry and I set it on the ground, Loki immediately wants to crawl inside of them. He's like, oh, big pile of fluffy clothes, sometimes warm. I'm like, get out of there. So, yeah, there's a lot of weird uses for this. All right, so here's my pocket. This is the opening to the pocket. We want to use the bottom edge. Right, Jan? Exactly. So, one thing about this bag, and don't make this mistake, is that the seams do not match up to the corners. You match the seams up to notches. So we're going to put the center of the bag to the center of our bottom and the seam to the center of our bottom like that. So there's no notches at the corners. We're just aiming for the centers of these. And the reason we do this is that if we didn't put like say we did the seam here, the pocket would be centered over a corner. The bag would be centered over a corner. And you don't really, it makes it really awkwardly shaped because I tried that out. So, all right, so we're going to put this right sides together. And I think I'm going to try and do this from the bottom side. I think I usually do the other way with the fabric on top, but I'm going to put the looser side toward my feed dogs. I might regret this, actually. I'm already regretting it. I'm already regretting it. Well, let's try it. We'll learn with me. So I'm matching up my notches. Make sure you're precise with your seam allowances. Oh, cool, Justine. You're going to make those too, Amy? Oh, those will be awesome. Hi, Eliza. How's it going? And you wouldn't have to put the zipper on, but if you just wanted to be able to toss it, you could. And if you want a notch for this corner, all you got to do is just fold your bag notch to notch, right? And find the middle there. So. Full seam allowance. And we're going to go to here like this, right? Let's put that clip right there. And just kind of take a gander. I like to see, what am I up against? I'm also going to hold this pretty firm. Like that. And now I'm going to clip into the lining up to where my needle is, roughly, to let it pivot. So now we want this one. Is it way over here? Oh yeah, okay, way over here. I'm looking for the notch. Couldn't find it. I keep doing that, but I really need to pivot first. Let me see if I can pull this down. I can't get it way over, but so before I pivoted, right, it was, this is the straight edge that I just sewed. This is the notch, or no, I'm sorry, this is the corner, and this is the middle between the two notches. So I clipped up to my needle right there, clip. And now I'm gonna hold this firm. I'm gonna pick up this bottom and I'm gonna pull it like this and pivot to where it lines up over here. This is why doing it with the fabric on top is a little easier. So now we want this to line up to a notch. I'm gonna pull that underside. While this is probably easier to get everything to line up by putting the fabric on the bottom, you'll probably enjoy sewing it the other way better. I'm just gonna be honest with you. All right. Look at the notch there. Just kind of seeing what I'm up against. Pick up my presser foot, pick up the bottom, clip somewhat close to the needle so that the fabric can pivot when I go like this. And I pull this so I don't get a little like tuck. Line up to the edge. And you can feel the fabric kind of folding like this. See right here, this fold. So you are worried that you're going to catch it. Oh yeah, you could add so many pockets on this thing. There's only one right now. I get a little bit off right there. I'm having trouble like gripping this canvas. It's so smooth. Well, there's my notch and there's my notch, so wish me luck. Let's see how we're doing here. There's a notch. Pivot. We can do that. We can do that. So we need to pull a little bit. Get this fabric all smooth. It's going to get a little trickier soon because of what we have left. Like we don't have much left. And we'll go back and fix anything we notice. How are we doing? Where's my notch? It's right there. Oof! Can I make that? Let's see. We need to ease a little bit in. So I'm pulling on this and pushing this a little bit, letting the feed dogs help me ease it. Well, it's a square. Well, you better get used to this, Shem, if you're going to get into bag making. Because that is kind of like the nature of it. It's usually like a square bottom. Unless you make the bottom by sewing across the ends, which doesn't really create like a flat bottom. It just creates a bottom. But yeah. So basically we just sewed a square. And I have a little bit of excess right here. I don't think I can ease this in either. See, I have a little bit. See, I have a little bit. You might get that too. It's the lining, so you can put a tuck in it if you want. But let's see if we can like fix it. All right, let's take a gander. So here we have our corners here, and they all look pretty good. We don't have any tucks. Everything's looking pretty good, right? We just have this little area here. So what we can try and do is take out a little bit and maybe ease it across this whole length. Let's see if we can. We won't go all the way through to the corner. This canvas is a lot more loose weave too. The bunny print and the seam allowance. I feel like this right here is a good argument why sometimes pins wouldn't help me. Because I'm literally just easing this in. Let's take out some of this right here. I think we almost have it. It'll be close. I don't mind a tuck. If you do mind a tuck, then you're going to probably have to go further back. The tuck's not going to show, especially if you put it at a corner. Hint, hint, hint. All right, so now this is our lining. So this is our bag, right? There is the bunny pocket. I really can't. So here's our inside bag, right? All right. Now we're going to sew the outer to this side, but we're going to trim this edge first. Oh, that's cool, just Justine. Work really cramps our style sometimes, doesn't it? Yeah, we're just going to trim like 1/4 of an inch off. Yeah, it should hold a whole load of laundry. Unless you overfill the laundry like my daughter does, then 2 baskets. Hi Fiona, how's it going? Yeah, the reason you sew them together is so that you don't have that loose inner bag. It's so annoying, you know? I didn't want to pull out my laundry and pull the lining with the laundry, you know? We're just going to trim this down because remember how I stitched my seam allowances down right here on the side to kind of give them flush so that they don't poke away from the sides? Now this edge here is going to be poking out along the bottom. So you could, you know, sew your outer bag to your outer bottom. You could, and then do your lining to your lining bottom. Then if you want, you could put the little piece of stiffener, like trim down the stiffener so that it only goes up to this edge here, like trim off like maybe a fat 1/2 inch all the way around. And then maybe top stitch them together if you want, or skip the stiffener, or stitch the stiffener down to one side. There's a lot of things you could do. Yes, I am, Louise. So now it's less bulky. And so now what I like to do is I'm going to take this whole bag here and I'm going to pull it away from the sides and fold it up like this to keep it out of the way, basically. See, like this. Pull it pretty snug. You don't want to get like these corners. Don't let them do this. You know, pull it really snug. And I secure this. Keep it out of your way. It's probably good enough. The way, what? What, Rachel, the way you do? Okay, so this is my bottom, this is my bunnies. Remember, notches to center of your square, not notches to corners. Oh, I just cut off my notches. Great! I think I need a ruler. Or here, this will work. because we need some guides. You're out of crayon. It's kind of like a little beastie, isn't it? That you really gotta manage. Oh, I can still see the notch there. I'm just putting my notches, my centers back. So just center, mark your centers of each side here. There we go. I'm just scanning. Okay. Right. Eliza, that's so funny, yeah. I know Greg is Eliza. It's only taken me 5 years. Oh, I trimmed off a quarter of an inch off this edge, but I didn't trim a quarter of an inch off of this edge. Remember that. All right, so let's find our center. I'm trying to find the center. There we go. Where is it? There we go. Okay. I don't think I realized that I do that. I trim off that quarter inch, but I don't trim it off the outer. That might be a little funny thing in my directions. Yeah, you know, mine right now really loves to add, like, say I write the word something, then there'll be a space and a G. Anytime I write a word with ing, it always does a space and a G. Yeah, like that's what I hate about like it replacing the word seeing with, like replacing sewing with seeing, because often that sentence still makes sense even though it isn't what you meant. I mean, obviously, right? Because we're talking about sewing. So yeah. Okay, so let's get our notches there. Oh, and we could clip into this corner here. Boop, like that, so you can pivot. I know you don't want to commit to clipping that corner because you're a little nervous about things lining up, but let me tell you, you're not going to be able to get it to sew together unless you clip that corner. It'll like take away 1/8 of an inch on each of your corners. So make sure that you clip into it. You're not going so far that if you have to, like you're not clipping so deep that if you need to move where your corner is and clip again, that's totally fine. You can have an extra clip around the perimeter edge. It'll be fine. You can see why I pinned this all out of the way, right? Oh no, Rachel. You've never forgotten it either. Things really get the best of us sometimes, don't they? That needs to be there. Oh, okay. Okay, maybe I should start paying attention more here. I think I've been doing the seam allowances a little funky. Get in there. I'm not like pushing it. Come on, there we go. Ooh, can I get all, oh, I can't get that in there. There's no way I can get that all in there. I'm foiled by my own sewing pattern. I should have been doing better than that. Let's take this out. They really, man, let's just hope nothing ever happens to their spouse, because that might be suspicious. I think, like, you know how, like, we all have, like, my greatest fear? My greatest fear is like, being, like, mistaken for someone or wrongfully accused of something. Like, I think, like, there's ways now really to just fabricate so much. It's even, like, it just makes my fear even worse now. Yeah, right? Eliza, I know, right? Maybe she's like a murder podcast girly, you know, likes the murder podcasts and talks about it with a pal. Let's give her the benefit of the doubt. Let's see if we can go from this side and try. Go to the corner. Pivot. It's like a very lumpy, bumpy thing on the left here. But it's all out of the way too. Yeah, see, look at that. It's not even lining up from where I started. Let's see if we can ease it in a little bit. You could pull your stay stitch to ease it a little bit. This is a perfect example of if my old assistant Rayanne was sewing this, it would be spot on. When she came to me, she had been sewing at a place that made collectible stuffed, not animals, but like stuffed, I don't know, dolls and things. They weren't anything that were my speed, like of things I would like or look for or anything. I think the company was called Woof and Puff. And the seam allowances they used there were 1/8 of an inch. If you want to get more accurate with your sewing, try sewing with 1/8 inch seam allowances for a while, and you will get good. So, like, there were patterns like theoretically, like all these pattern pieces, they really should match up. I'm just not being great at sewing them right now because there are the same dimensions. Like, the dimensions are the same. And I don't usually sew also with 1/2 inch seam allowances, so I'm being really mad about it. But she would never have to ease certain things in that I would have to ease in, you know? And the thing was, like, her sewing experience, like, she was great. It wasn't like, she hadn't sewn as long as I had. She hadn't done garments really. She had done she had done garments, but like mostly like for her own, like the program she had been in and for herself. And like, don't get me wrong, like, I'm not trying to say she wasn't great. She just wasn't as experienced as me, right? And so even my own patterns, I'd be like, I don't know why, but I always have to ease this part in, even though it measures exactly the same. And I've told you that, guys, that I am a puller. I pull things really hard, and it's a problem. I pull things, and then I can't get things to match. It's like my sewing Achilles heel, right? So and when she would do it, she'd hand them to me to finish. I'd be like, oh my God, this thing is perfect. I'm like, you don't have trouble getting this? I always have this one little spot that the 1/4 inch hangs off the edge. And she's like, no, the pattern's perfect. I'm like, I know the pattern's perfect, but it never sews together perfect. And if I were to do that like on a sewing machine, like a production floor, they would absolutely be intolerant of someone not being able to match that together. They're like, nope, it matches, it needs to match. And I'd say, well, we could just trim it if they're having trouble every time. They're like, no. And they were right. They were right. Like when I was new, they were right to say, no, do not change the pattern to accommodate. Because what if you did it in a different fabric and that fabric was less flexible, you know? So sounds like how they had to make the Apollo suits because they were the only people there. That's really, that is an interesting. I do not believe they are the most accurate. Because a bra, while being like small pieces and stuff, I would say like people who do waterproof things would be more accurate because you can't have any stray needle holes, you know? I'm just going around and undoing a little bit. I don't want my bag to be wonky though, so, and I'm just easing little bits here and there. Let's see if we can just scratch the tucks out. This is a very casual sewing day. Yeah, there's no tucks. What tucks? All right. We're almost done now. No, well, maybe they didn't. Well, the sim allowance measures you up every time. That they have other things that are really precise like that, where you just can't have needle holes, you know? Because plastics were in the mix then, especially with some of the things I sewed for that. I don't know. That's a really cool, I like that. That's a really cool, like, story. All right, so now we're going to pull this to the right side. I'm just being intentional to poke out my corners. This edge is going to sit on the underside. That's why I'm also not like, there's a couple of tucks. And the reason it sits under is because of that seam allowance edge. This edge right here, see? I could trim that other one down, but I'm going to leave it. See, because it's sticking out. All right. Now we're going to match up all of our top edge here. And so now we have this bag with a square bottom. The reason we have a square bottom is because I wanted it to be as much like a laundry basket as possible. Yeah, right, Blair, scuba divers. Granted, neoprene is sewn in a really interesting way. Yeah, cool, Tiffany. We love that kind of thing. Yeah, leather, exactly. I wonder if it's also, yeah, because of the small seam allowances they probably use. Yeah, I did one at the beginning, but yeah, you can see. You guys are, I've never worn this. So yeah, it's got the little ruffle. It just makes me look so busty. That's why I hardly ever wear it. It's printed. It's printed. It's very warm wool, but very thin too. Like it's very thin. Yeah, this is an old sweater for me. I mean, there's a lot of details too. I just like the way the rib knit is. It has the eyelet holes in it. You see them? Always so many good details with this company. They started partnering with someone else towards the end that would do these more elaborate printings. Yeah, oh, I don't think they were probably looking for waterproofing. I was just thinking like waterproof sewists, you know, they have to be so precise. But you guys are probably right, maybe at the time. Who knows who's even charged? Yeah, see now that right there, Rachel, I doubt everything now. I doubt everything now. I'm like when you start realizing sometimes the thought process that goes into things, you're just kind of like, what? you know? Oh, I'm just wearing my Creston jeans, but I've been wearing them for a few days, and these are the jeans that have the expanding waist, right? Wait, where is the right? But I've been wearing them for a couple days, so they're very loose right now. Especially this kind of denim isn't the kind that's really stable. It gets a little bit looser. Radio to the Fairchild Semiconductors hired hundreds of Navajo women to work on their chips because of their precision attention. Oh, interesting. Really? That's interesting. They weren't being exploited? Because that's what I would think. I doubt everything now. Okay. Let's see where we at here. Facing to extension. Okay. So we're going to set this aside, and we're going to take our facing and our extension here. Right? Here's the zip extension. And we're going to open this up. And we're going to do this right sides together. Right? We're going to do this right sides together. That's going to stick up. That's going to go down on the bag. Yeah, like this. Facing to top. Facing to extension. We could probably do this all as one step if you wanted. Let's open up the seam allowance. We'll just stitch this together to make it easier to handle. Oh, cool. I saw a book with a sewing related term in the title, and I for some reason I thought I bookmarked it and I didn't, because I was going to put it in the So Lost in the Read group. We have a little like reading group in the guild. And they just read anything that has like sewing in the title. It doesn't, or sewing related somewhat. It doesn't have to be like a sewing about sewing. It can just have any kind of reference. I love that. Oh, I've heard of that book. I might check that out. They also wear it. You can find it. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. All right, we're just tacking this together. And now we're going to, we're going to put the facing to the top edge stitch. Wait, how does this go? Oh wait, we could do this to the, yeah, all at once. All right, so, right? No, like this, right? And then let me figure out how to sew my own bag here. No, that's not right either. Oh, like this. I feel like I did this wrong. Did I just do this wrong? Wait a minute. What did I just do? This needs to go here, and this needs to go. How does this go? How does this go? This is wrong. Wait a minute. We need to take this apart. Even if we don't need to take this apart, I'm taking this apart. If you give me more to search, I can put the link in the chat, because Terry's at her in-laws. She's busy. I haven't seen Malin in a while. Has anyone seen Malin? Maybe she's busy with life. I did this wrong. I've sewn this in years. think I wrote that step, like my little shorthand here. I think I wrote the step wrong. Oh, okay, Elaine. So you have like a specific thing. Hi, Reynolds. How's it going? Terry puts a link to the guild. They're talking about a link to a story. But thanks, Terry. Appreciate you trying to mod while you're like visiting with family. Let's take out some of this thread here. All right, so what we want eventually is we need to put this right sides together like that, and it's going to go like that. And so we want this like this, wrong side to right side. That's what it is. That could be clear in my instructions unless I'm just misinterpreting them. But I'm pretty sure if we do it this way, I'll explain it in just a second. So let me just make sure. Yeah, that's totally fine, Terry. Totally fine. That's why I said, I'm like, Terry's busy right now. But they're going to put a link in the guild. Okay, please, there we go. Get in there. Okay. So I'm pretty sure. Thanks, guys. So then if you put this right sides together like this, yeah, then that'll be able to be, you know what, let's back stitch this better too. This was my little problem area that I got a little nervous about, remember? Of course, we remember. Always good to reinforce your zippers anyway, so we'll just do the other one too. All the OGs know the commands. Louise, Nancy, Barbara, I love it. The commands that for some reason don't work. I don't know why. Okay. All right, so the correct thing I should have been doing was we're going to put the facing to the zip extension. So the wrong side of the zip extension is going to the right side of the facing like this. So they're laying on top of each other like that. Right? So this is the facing. Here's the zip extension, the raw edge. Wrong side to right side like this, just one on top of the other. And then we're going to put this right sides together to the bag. We're just going to sew it all at once. Like this. So let me show you. So we have our facing, right side down, to the back side of the zipper thing. If you're not doing the zipper, you don't need to put it in there. You just put the facing right sides together to the outer bag. That one says, all right. Because I'm not a very clever pun person. Oh, yeah, I am. Thanks for reminding me. Although she kind of gave me a heart attack yesterday because she was like at 1 o'clock my time, right? And I was like, no, 1 o'clock my time. She's like, no. And I was like, yes. Because I have a skill building session at 10 a.m. So I wouldn't be able to do that. And I had to screenshot my conversation with her. I was like, see, don't stop making me feel crazy. So yeah, next Friday, Jen is having me on FabFit Friday. I don't really know much except that she is very kind in saying, I want to help you promote Fitopedia. So we'll talk about things We'll talk about things. She's not going to do to me what I did to her. The ball has been in her court for a long time. It's my turn now. So, she's a one busy gal, man. Someday I'll have a schedule like hers where I'm like, you know, jet setting all over the country teaching classes, right? Oh God, I don't know if I want to do that. All right, so we've got all 4 layers pinned together. If you're doing the zip extension, if you're not doing the zip, it's 3. We're just gonna sew these together. And we're not really going through anything like stiffener or zippers or anything like that either. It's just these 4 layers. Yeah, it should definitely be fun. I have a skill building session at 10 a.m. that day, so some of you might not want to do both, but you can always watch either because they're going to be recorded. Oh, don't you be persnickety about fitting. I was precise. You can really tell when you use different fabrics, really how it changes how they lay together, right? You know what I mean, jelly beans? Oh, here it is. There it goes there and there, like that. That's going to be, I think, better. Yep. Yeah, no worries, Barbara. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4 layers. Can you guys see okay? Just yell at me when you can't. I've been monkeying around with the camera a lot today. Oh, you know, I forgot to put my little, I'm about to record a video, so I hadn't, 60 people, what are you all doing here? You don't have something better to do? Like so? Thanks for coming. Thank you to the veterans here on Veterans Day and every day. There we go, that's better. It's getting a little big, so it's like bumping up into things now. You taking off, Barbara? Okay, are you, wait, I don't think she's leaving. This is the canvas. Ooh, what's the canvas that Hearts carries? Incidentally, this stiffener isn't right up to the seam allowance because it wouldn't leave room for your presser foot. That's why it's a little narrower. It's really just there to kind of keep the mouth of your laundry basket open when you're using it. So don't worry that it's not right next to it. You don't want it to be. It would be really hard to sew. You can leave the stiffener out too, but it is a kind of nice to hold it open while you're putting clothes in because that can be kind of grabby, you know, fabric and fabric. Not leaving. Yeah, I didn't think you were leaving. You're just saying, yeah, you won't be able to make, yeah, that's a lot of streams on next Friday. And I don't have other streams planned this month. I mean, I have things in the guild that I do, like I have the skill building session on, ironically, about evaluating fit. And then, well, I did quick fit yesterday, which was really quick. I'm very proud of how quick it was. And then I think that'll be all of November. But because it's a holiday month in the US and Thanksgiving falls on my streaming week this year. So there might be a surprise stream, but so far, this is it. Yeah, so this is a basic canvas, and it's heavier than this one here, and it's also a little more open weave than this one here. So this is a canvas. I made that diaper bag in this fabric. Do you remember that? But it was a quilting cotton, not the canvas version. Canvas would have been a little bit overkill on that pattern. Hi, Noon Sky. How's it going? I'm sorry, you're probably going to miss Chipmunk Saremy then, right? Okay, so this is what it's looking like. Let's hope I did that right? So, wait. Ugh. Let's pull up the camera a little bit. I'm not really doing this to promote my pattern. I just needed to make one of these for my daughter, so that's why I'm doing this today. We finished the teddy top. All right, so this is your zipper, right? It can also sit in the bag flush down there. So we have our facing, our outer bag, our zipper, right? So now we're going to edge stitch this right here. So let's go to the ironing board and sort of give it a little what's wet so that we can, I'm sorry. We can edge stitch it nicely. So I'm just gonna tug around here on the facing first. This helps. You could try and iron it, but you might find it a little harder to iron. We'll see. We'll see what we can do. All right. And now let's pull this seam a little bit. Sort of like when we are doing a French seam and we want to press the seam allowance just any old direction just to get it nice and flat. So then it'll want to behave when we go to top stitch it or finish the stitch. All right, so now we're going to pull the facing towards the inside of the bag and the zip extension up. If you don't have the zip extension, you don't have to worry about that, this step. We're just trying to get a nice crisp edge along the top here. So if you can top stitch it through these layers here, go for it. If you're finding it's a little too thick, you could understitch instead. All we have left is to stitch down our facing and attach our handles and the loop. Oh, we need to put the loop on. I think we need to do that right now. Let's see if we can iron this around the edge of the ironing board. Yes, Leah, perfect. Perfect description, yes. I'm just trying to move my computer so I can see you guys a little better. And see if I can, if this will show on the camera. We'll do this, yeah, kind of. Yeah, Vlogmas was really fun. I actually really enjoyed it, but it really made me put a lot on hold. And it just, you know, it doesn't add up really. I thought about, like, after I did Vlogmas, I was like, okay, I don't know if I would do this again. I actually really loved it. You know what I loved about it was that I was a little less strict with my video creation. And I think that that also is something people like better. But it's really hard for me to let go of certain things. But when I recorded Vlogmas, because I live stream, I have this big advantage of using an encoder. Anyone can use an encoder. They don't have to live stream. But it's not something that people really know about who make videos because they don't really need it. And the encoder lets me, you know, be live and simultaneously upload the video to YouTube in the same moment. And it's rendering the video for YouTube's format. Because you can render a video to whatever format is best for the platform it's going to live on. I know this is a little techie, but when you just record a video and you're not going to live stream, you just need to render it and then you upload it. Because I'm live streaming, it's doing it all in one step. And so when I recorded Vlogmas, I could actually record my video. And you know how like I switch between scenes on the camera and I can switch between a graphic? That's because I'm using the encoder. There's all these scenes in there I can switch between. This looks pretty good. And I could just sit there and I had them all like, I also use a stream deck, which, you know, is kind of gilding the lily. Yes, so I didn't have to edit. Yeah, so like here's my Stream Deck. Can I get it over there? Let me see if I can show you. So I have this little, I asked for Christmas, this for Christmas. You don't need one of these. A lot of big streamers use them. There are really big ones and really small ones. I wish, now they have one with dials, and I really want that because I'm wondering if I can do adjustment, brightness and stuff. So right here, this is the view we're on right now. So if I press this, this is my pattern table. And then if I press this one, that's my ironing board, right? Here's the full screen. So I'm just holding this little thing here, right? Me and computer. This turns on my light on my pattern table. So watch, here's my pattern table, and then I'll press that button and see the light came on. Fancy, right? That's kind of fancy too. And that's because it's the same brand as this. And then down here I have like this is my record button. This is someone I record videos for. I make theirs. No, this is Fittopedia. This is someone I record videos for. This is the Lo-Fi Girl YouTube channel. This is my YouTube channel. This is the Guild. This is Twitch. I have priorities. This is the second page. I could put another page on here like this. So anyway, when I was doing this is my secret. When I was doing Vlogmas, I would very casually press these buttons, and I programmed them so that it was very seamless and it would look nice, and I wouldn't have to do any editing. The only video I edited was the one where I did the fabric tour. So if you like techie stuff like that, I love talking about it, but I know it's kind of like boring for others. And it was really hard for me to find out a lot of information about live streaming when you're not a gamer and you're doing picture-in-picture and overhead and cameras. Stream Deck, yeah, Elena has one, and she uses one for work. So like you could use a Stream Deck. You can program a Stream Deck. Like say you do the same exact tasks on your computer all the time. It records those steps of that task. So you just press the button, it does those in sequence. It's pretty cool. A lot of artists will use them like for Illustrator or something like that. And you know, they just press these buttons, and there's all kinds of versions of this. When you start looking into these, they get really cool. So I asked for one for Christmas from my family. Like I was just like, this is very much not a necessary thing. I didn't really want to use it as a business expense. I just thought it'd be cool to have, and it has been really cool. I love it. And so when I was recording Vlogmas, I would create my thumbnail and I put in my tour. Do you guys want another little tour? Here, I'll just show you a little bit more for those of you just to finish this out. Okay, so here, this right here, this window right here is I'm watching the stream with you. This is the chat, so ignore that. Here's my desktop, right? It's The Last of Us. That's my favorite video game. All right, this is my encoder, this little thing right here, this white window. And so right here are all the scenes. So right here, here's my iron. Here's the full screen, right? So, and then right here, this right here, these are all the things that make up this scene. So here's my laundry discount code. Whoops, right? This was the summer camp sew-along text, you know. This is like project provided by, I added all these things. Here's my microphone, here's my backup microphone, here's the viewer count, right? That's a little widget. Alert box, so if someone donates or subscribes, it will come up on the screen. Can we test this? No, never mind. Here's my website. See, these are like little graphics. I'm kind of fancy with all the little things I add on my, as a sewing person, but because I like it, I think it's fun. Here's my cameras, right? So here's my face camera, right? And then I can move all these things because they're like layers, right? I can move my frame, so. And in fact, my face camera is hanging off of the screen. These are behind the scenes stuff, right? So when I did Vlogmas, I set all those things, all those scenes up, those things, so it'd be like my project thumbnail would come on the screen. I'd press the button for that. Then I would press this, and I would just do that. And so that way it was very, very seamless. So I had to do a lot of setup, but then I could not edit. Because when I edit, then I have to pull that video into an editing software. I have to put it onto a hard drive, pull it into the program, do the edit, render the video, and I can't use my computer sometimes, and then pull it back onto the hard drive, pull it back on my computer, upload it. So it was a lot of steps, so I cut out. All right, so we're going to edge stitch through all layers. And I'm gonna do this from the right side because I'm less concerned with how it looks here than I am here. So. What are you trying to order, Noon Sky? We don't have stiffeners. You can use canvas. Yeah, I would just use like a canvas or something. You don't really have to either. You could even use cardboard on the bottom if you're not planning on washing it. What was that little noise? Yeah, the base, and then I used a little bit on the perimeter, but you don't have to. Yeah, sure, Rachel. I know, I love it. I know I've been told, like, oh, you should do videos on how to do that, but I don't want to. I'm pretty open about just about everything, but there's a few things I'm kind of like, you know what? I worked really hard to figure out some of this stuff. I even hired a couple of people that come and like help me set things up, and I knew way more than they did. And you know, when you're older and female and you're trying to do some of these things, there is an inherent bias already trying to, you know, make it like, oh, you don't know what you're doing, you don't know what you're talking about, you don't know how to do those things. And it's like, no, I do, and I'm just trying to figure out this aspect or whatever. And so I watched so many videos that were not helpful, but the comment sections were gold, and that's how I figured out a lot of things. So I'm pretty proud of the fact that I figured out so much, and I'm not very sophisticated about it. I'm really not. I saw someone's stream setup the other day, and my mouth fell open. I was like, wow, that's cool, you know? Yeah, you could, Elena. Yeah, I think that's a great idea, like in the bin. What, Jan, you can't, what? I can't make you what? All right, these really thick seams right here, I'm kind of just doing it slowly, and sometimes I'll just walk my hand wheel. I don't need to with my machine, but I always recommend this if you're doing something really thick. Walk your hand wheel toward you, and then you can get through those really thick things. I just saw it skip a stitch. I think my needle's a little dull right now. There we go. Didn't skip a stitch. Oh wait, I need to do my hook. Okay, hook to tether, tack to bag, pocket. Okay, so the hook goes right here. So we have the tether. The hook is free on my website, by the way. Don't buy 10 of them. Like, leave some for others. Just, you know, 2 or 3, okay? How many laundry baskets are you really gonna make? You can always come back and get more if you make more. But they're just old pattern hooks because the nylon cord wears out, and I have pattern hooks for days. So here's that little loop we made, right? And so we're just gonna stick it in here. But if you can go to your hardware store and get a hook or something, or find something, just make sure it's really strong. Yeah, I agree. I agree, Eliza. I mean, I agree. Like, I still, like, some of it is just changing so fast, and there's a lot of unnecessary things. Why is this twisted? I thought I just literally, yeah, like that, right? Like this, like this. I think sometimes I'm just a little bit of a try-hard with some of this stuff too. you know? I don't really need to be. Right, Nancy? Here we go. I wanted it to lay nice in there. I was fussing with it. Oh, thanks. Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. The people I asked in the gaming space were actually better than the people that weren't. I've had people, like someone locally that's kind of a friend, she was really insistent that I would teach people how to do all this when the pandemic started, the panini started. And I was like, no, I'm happy to do that if they want to consult with me, but no, I don't want to spend my time doing that. They're still getting paid, I'm not. All right, I'm just gonna tack this in the seam allowance here. I wish I would remember to put this in the seam. Tack this puppy in good, all right? It's gotta hold all your laundry. And it'll be kind of good that it's hanging down. Oh wait, does this, it is supposed to go to the seam allowance, right? I feel like asking Rachel. Rachel, how do you sew this thing? I feel like she's sewn it recently. Am I supposed to do it to here? No, I think it's supposed to, you know what? I'm not sure, I'm sorry. It might just go just right here, but this is long enough. As long as it's long enough, you're good. You know? Yeah, the Stream Deck is awesome. I love it. It's not very expensive. Oh, I should sew in a label, huh? That would be fun. Where would we put it? Thanks, Leah. Let's see. Oh, also, is anyone interested in, is everyone excited about the new book, Sewing the Curve, coming out by Kashmirette? It's coming out soon. You can't find the hook? Oh, I'll put a link in chat. I have a copy. What do you want to know about it? I'm doing a review, and I'll tell you. Let me put that. So have you found the pattern for it, the laundry basket? Because the hook is linked under Notions, way down in the description. It says Notions, and then it says you can get one free here, and that's capitalized. That's where it's at. Sure, Bear. Oh, you have, okay. Okay, cool. Well, yeah, so tell me your questions. I'm recording my review today. I'm not going to tell you my answers right now. Yeah. Here's the pattern. That little discount code will work through the end of the month too. Can you do a review on YouTube? Yes, I will be doing one. I'm recording it after the stream today. I've already done a lot for it. Like you know me, I don't do anything small. All right, what are we doing here, friends? What are we doing here? What do we think Cricket would like? Let's see. What do we got? What do we got? Maybe I should just do one of mine. That's my mom. Should we put the party dress in there? Proud as punch. Dream it, make it. Fabulous. Would this book be useful for people who are in the smaller size range? Okay, I will cover that. I am covering that already. It is a good question. Can't stop, won't stop. That about sums it up, man. All right, we're just gonna do meat. Do I need the first Kashmir book to use this one? Is it part 2? Oh, that's a really good one. You want the mom labels, Suzanne? Let's do it under the hook, right? I should have put it like sticking out from the pocket. I like that. But we could do it under the hook like that. Let's make sure this is nice and flat, you know. Let's slip it under there. Slip it under there. Like this. All right. I don't really want to start sewing right here. That's not even pinned. There we go. Okay. Let's sew this facing down. We're almost done. Once we do this, all we have to do is attach our handles. Okay, so if you want, you can, in the instructions, I fold this under, and what I would do, I wouldn't fold it up against the stiffener. Well, would I? Here's the deal. Like when you fold this, can you get your presser foot along this folded edge without the stiffener pushing your presser foot off of the edge, right? You know, so, you know, like this little edge of stiffener that's in here, right? That can bully your, you know, presser foot. So if I just turn it under the 1/2 inch seam allowance, I have enough space to fit my presser foot along it. I made it that way on purpose. So. Peekaboo Saremy. Your mom's watching you do laundry. Oh, where did I get the name Cricket? It's not her real name. I did not plan on that sticking at all. I called her that when I was pregnant, you know, before I knew what I was having, you know, and it sort of stuck. I think I'm going to go across the hook here a couple times. Never underestimate the weight of things. If you did something other than fabric for this little thing right here, just remember that if it's like webbing or ribbon or something like that, it really has to be strong. In fact, if it's like ribbon, I would fold it over and sew it in there. So, does she introduce herself as Cricket? Yes. No, she is fully Cricket. There have been a few people in her life that are just like, your name is dumb, like teachers, you know. And I'm not calling you that, and that's fine, you know, whatever. She doesn't care. She's not going to be like, wah, you know. She knows that's them being weird, you know. We kind of had to be careful, like when she got a little older, when, you know, more like formal documents were starting to pop up in her life, like diplomas and certificates, because people didn't realize, like even schools would put her in as Cricket, like that was her real name, and I would have to say, you know, that's fine, like that's what she prefers. It was always up to her too. She went through a very short-lived day-long phase of not wanting to go buy it anymore, you know, and I was like, that's cool, whatever, you know. So I've known one Cricket, and it was a nickname for her too, but I didn't name her after her. So yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that has been a problem because people just don't realize it, which is really strange, you know. Like, I don't register her for things that are important with her nickname. That's hilarious, Nancy. I love that. We've been talking a lot in my family about how my mom does this. It's like a family thing where my grandma always did this. Like, she would call us someone else, right? And my mom called my brother the dog's name for like the entire life of this dog. So my poor brother went by scout for the whole life of this dog, you know? And it was just like, Mom, and she's like, oh, you know? So that is really funny. And I called Cricket. I started to call her Molly the other day, and she's like, did you almost Grammy me? I was like, I caught myself. Okay, so we just need to put the handles on. It's looking really good. See? That's our bag. It's big, very big. Load of laundry. I literally use one of these to go between work and home sometimes, like when I get a fabric order. So, okay, so the handles, I think I put on the pocket side. Or I put on one on each side. So what we need is a center mark. And I've kind of lost that. How did I figure that out? So I'm going to fold this, find the center. Right? And we're going to stitch it inside the facing. And we want them about 4.5 inches apart. So we're going to do this. I'm going to try and get this nice and parallel. Right? See you, Rosalie. Thanks for coming. Nice to meet you. All right, 2 1/4, and we'll put a blue line like that. I have a little piece of paper that works great that I did not find before this, like a little template. Look at this little bunny right here. Are you my mommy? See you, Eliza. You're hilarious. This is the bottom base one. Elena's might be bigger than mine. They come out, it's Elgato. Elgato Stream Deck, E-L-G-A-T-O. That's who I'd go with. There may be other people, but they come in like cute colors in some companies and stuff. So, all right. I'm just looking at these 2 blue lines and, you know, making sure. So I'm going to sew in my first strap and use it to mark my other one. So let's pull up our zip extension here, right? So let me show you what you're looking at here. Let me orient you. So here is my blue mark right here and right here, okay? I know you can't probably see that. Right here and right here. And so I always put the strap upside down first. So you see how I have it like this, right? We're going to line up the strap like this. Zip extensions up out of the way, so nothing else is in there. We're just going to stick to the facing, and I'm trying to also get the same amount above the stitch line of the facing, right? And I'm going to stitch, let's see, I'm going to stitch down here, right, like at a, you know, like lower than this cut edge, and then we're going to pull up the strap and stitch it down again. So I like to stitch close to the facing seam. I'm caught on the edge of my machine there. So we'll just put my presser foot along the edge of the facing stitching, all right? It's like 1/4 inch away. And we'll do it again. We really want sturdy, right? So that's what that, sorry, the camera's really close. That's what that looks like. Oh, what did Louise? This is, yeah, this is from Hearts, and I used it for another project, and I was kind of surprised Cricket picked it out because I didn't, she has no idea what I make here, right? So that is like a fat 3/4 of an inch sticking up above the seam there. Line up my presser foot. Do another row. You're gonna feel that, if you put the stiffener in there, you'll feel it in there. You'll be like, ooh, that's getting kind of like chunky feeling. All right, so make sure everything looks good on here. We can trim these little threads, make it look a little neater. Right? Do-do-do-do-do-do. Okay, one more. Okay. Oh, nice. That'll be awesome. Have fun with that rice. Just eating. All right, I'm just pulling it up and I'm enclosing that raw edge. And you could put another couple stitches if you want, but now I have 3 basically. And now we'll do the other side, and I'm gonna use this strap here to place the other one, because if there's a pet peeve of mine, it's when your handles don't line up to one another, you know? Oh, it is? Double gauze too? Dang. Okay, so I'm like making my bag flat right here, right? Got my handle there, and then we'll put our other one, right? Because we want them to be right on top. Put it down. Yeah, what do you plan on making with that? That'll be really cute. Double gauze in this print would be cute. I'm just temporarily pinning this. I feel a little awkward sewing today. Like my technique is kind of awkward today. Okay. Pull that out of the way. We're way out of the way, right? And now here we are again. So I'm just going to look at things, right? Like, okay, yeah, we're in that 4.5 inches apart realm. I'm going to put the handle above this facing seam the same amount I did on the other one. So this one could probably come down a tad like this. And now we can stitch. So often when I mark something, I usually just mark one and use it for the other so that I have symmetry, right? Oh, Hillary had a shirt made with it. Yeah. There is a Hearts discount code. Is it this? No, this one. There you go. They're so nice to us. That'll pretty much pay a little bit over your tax in California or most of your shipping, depending on how big your order is. Okay. So yeah, I know you guys are starting to head out. So Friday I will be on Jen Stern's channel. I think I'm gonna live stream that too. I think I'll live stream that too. So you might get double notifications. We share a lot of the same viewers, so you guys are gonna be torn. Don't worry, we cannot see who you're watching. We don't know who's watching. We won't know who you picked. There are co-streaming things, but I doubt we're gonna wanna venture into that realm. All right. And check out Fittopedia. It's out now. The PDF is out too. So there's going to be more coming. And I'm pretty sure that everyone who has the back is going to get neck and shoulders included. It's not as big. All right. So let's pop the zipper one last time so that we can train it. But it also sometimes is nice when it sits inside the bag like this, right? Like that. All right, so let's... But where do we comment? Yeah, that's true. You can comment in both. I guess that would out you. Better comment here. All right. There we go. Big bag. Laundry bag. You could, you know, I think I might, when I have you stitch this in the instructions, have you do it like this, toward, all of it toward the bag, like this. All through all layers. So. Oh, me too, Barbara. I do that all the time. Barbara. Autocorrect sex sometimes, right? Cool. All right. Well, I hope she likes this. She has the hook now to hang. This is great in laundromats, you know, so. Yeah, you could totally put an outer pocket. Okay, I can't get this zipper started down here. I'll probably sew this so that once it's started, there we go, it won't sneak back down into the end there. There we go. And you could even, you know, if you like the way it looks, you can, you know, do fabric across the end of your zipper. Sew your zipper to the fabric, and then that way it's fabric down there and not the zipper. You don't have to worry about what happened to me too. And it'll act nicer when you're at this stage. I just try to keep things a little simple. So, yeah. I like the zipper to be pushed down into the bag like this. Like that. Cool. Where's the link for Fittopedia? I got one. Here you go. Don't you have it, Jan? I think you do. Don't buy it again. Here you go. Wait, was that it? Yeah, that's it. Okay. Yeah, you could totally do an overnight bag. I've done that. I like using these as go bags. They're just nice, you know. They're really big. Good Christmas gift. A little involved for a Christmas gift. You have to really... I think you have, Jan. I feel like you have. Jan, can I ask you a makeup question? Oh yeah, definitely strong enough for groceries. Definitely. In fact, I used to have the greatest setup in one of my cars where there was somewhere where I could hook the handles of my grocery bags over a hook built into the trunk. Nice to see you, Louise. I missed that, and I was thinking that I would use one of these so then I could just hook this to somewhere in my car to hold it up so my groceries don't fall over, you know? And the pocket is so that you can put the hook in here and it's not hooking your clothes, or you can put, you know, some laundry. I can ask you a question. Okay. You know how there's the green cream to neutralize red skin tone? Jan's a professional makeup artist. I found what I really like. Is it bad for my skin? Like, is it bad for me? Is there anything? It's by, I think her name is Rebecca Mott. It's called You'll Thank Me Later. Louise is not for sale. That's what I'm wondering. Yeah, the anything bag. Yeah. I might work on, yeah, color corrector. Yes. I'm not like putting like something on my skin I shouldn't be putting on, right? I love this stuff. I've stopped using foundation to hide my rosacea. Oh, sure, Bear, I'm sorry. I'll try and apply it. I don't know what your name is. That's the only thing. And you don't have to tell me your name here if you don't want. But you can send me a message. Oh, you will look gray. I'm using it right now. I will look gray if it's covering up the chat. If you're not careful, use yellow if she has it. Okay, it will not hurt your skin. Use it very sparingly. Okay, cool. Thanks. It was an experiment, you know? I have it on right now, but I'm always a little red during stream. I had like, I don't know. You use Dermablend. Okay, cool. Thank you for the tips. I appreciate it. Free advice. I appreciate it. Thank you. All right, you guys. Well, thanks for helping me do one of my projects. Now I just need to make a body pillow and some pillowcases. Michael made her something too. This is definitely, I usually definitely push this down and top stitch it. I kind of want to still do that. It's pretty thick when you do that, but it hangs down inside the bag, which I like. I like it to hang down. True, Jan, thank you. Thanks, yeah, her birthday's next Saturday. I'll be with you guys on her birthday. He likes to do woodworking. He made her a gorgeous cutting board. Thanks, Amy. We've been watching a lot of Wrexham, Amy. Catching up. Been a while. I'm gonna clean up my screen here a little bit here. Move this over here. Cool. All right, you guys. Well, have a great weekend. I'll see some of you in workshops next week and a skill building session, and I'll see you on Jen Stern's channel. Here, let me give you guys a link to Jen Stern's channel. My goodness. That might take me a few clicks. J Stern Designs. Here we go. Here we go, here we go. This is where I will be next Friday, but I'll be here too. Good, cool, thanks. Hi, Marie. Thanks for stopping by. Nice to see all of you. I'll see you guys soon. I'll have a surprise live stream at some point, I'm sure. So I'll talk to you guys soon. Have a good weekend and happy Veterans Day.